Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I'm finally back with more Modern Warfare gameplay and discussion. I'm taking quite a long break from that on the channel, but I have been away and out of the United States for a while. The gameplay that you're seeing around me is J-Hub's gameplay from the very last day of the beta and ground war. He gets the AC-130, the white phosphorus, he goes on a huge streak. It's great gameplay and I'll supplement it with something else if I need to. We have a lot to talk about today, but it's mostly going to be about Modern Warfare's bad news. We're going to talk about the bad netcode, the loot boxes, the one-year exclusivity, some of the last-minute changes, and all the other sort of bad stuff that's going on. And I want you to bear with me if my voice drops or if I look a little bit rough. I kind of got a cold because I've been gone for almost 2 weeks, and because I've been gone for so long, I have a few updates to go through first. Number one today is that I'm doing a super easy giveaway this month of 2 different Astro headsets. It's literally follow me on Twitter and follow the Discord server. It takes like 2 minutes to complete. One of them isn't even tracked with Gleam, it just happens in Discord. This got scheduled while I was gone and it posted during YouTube's downtime, which I didn't know about because I didn't have internet. So it was like totally dead on arrival and the response for the giveaway has been much poorer than what I had hoped. I thought some of you might want to know in case you want the headsets, and the video is linked down there below in the description. The next thing is, why am I talking about Modern Warfare stuff now? Shouldn't I have talked about it like a week and a half ago when it was hot and fresh and new? For any of you that don't know, I went to the Cayman Islands for 9 days on a working vacation. I managed to catch the flu while I was there. I did tons of recording. I even did recording for some content that I'm going to be posting in like December, so that's going to be fun. I filmed my own Baywatch parody. The purpose was to go and do some work for the tourism ministry and to promote the Gamers Bay event on the island, and I got a lot of messages while I was gone about why I wasn't talking about the controversial COD stuff, a lot of accusations that I was getting paid by Activision to avoid this discussion, and I'm going to let you know, I wish that Activision would pay me to not talk about things. That would just be fantastic. I got some other fun ones that I was only in the Cayman Islands to hide my illegal Activision money that I got paid for being good PR for them and avoiding FTC regulations and stuff like that. And I also got called an Activision shrill. That's kind of a new one. Anyway, what I was doing there was nothing so exciting. I was working on vlog content and Twitter content. I was swimming with sea turtles, petting dolphins, wild stingrays, and making what was, in my opinion, a lot of fantastic content. Unfortunately, these videos have performed a lot worse than any content that I've made in the last couple of months. I literally get more views from one tweet than I have on my vlogs, and this kind of sent my head spinning while I was on vacation, and even currently. Is my content bad? Is it uninteresting? Did I film it poorly? Is the editing bad? Am I a bad person? Is nobody interested in me? Am I what's the right word? Inextricably? No, man, my brain is barely functioning on the flu. Am I permanently tied to COD such that nobody cares about me at all outside of that game? And I did some back-end work and determined that the issues with the low views and such were algorithmic. In short, if my initial subs don't click on videos at a certain rate, they literally don't publish. And since this is a gaming channel, non-gaming content gets lower clicks, and with lower clicks, it doesn't even publish but to like 1% of my subscribers, which is kind of brutal. It's also a kind of scary wake-up call considering that I'm planning to leave the COD franchise this fall if some of the rumored changes to Modern Warfare go through. It's scary to me, but if you are interested in seeing me swim with endangered sea turtles and work on some conservation awareness effort and some stuff like that, then go ahead and click the link down there below in the description. And one last housekeeping thing before we finally hit the Modern Warfare news. The harassment campaign against me and my family got stepped up a notch while I was away. Somebody found some old videos from like 7 to 8 years ago where I used the N-word numerous times and emailed them to my sponsors. The messages also came with information saying that I promoted a white supremacist ideology or racist ideology here on the channel. And the funny thing about it was that all of the videos where I say the N-word is me criticizing white supremacy and criticizing racism in the South where I grew up, and I'm using the N-word in quotes of telling other people's stories and what they said and what they've done. Eventually it got so bad I had to make a public statement about it. I had to talk to all of my sponsors. It was very bad. The goal was to cancel me as part of cancel culture, get me deplatformed, banned from YouTube, lose all my money, yada yada. Thankfully, YouTube and Twitter understands context, and all of my sponsors understand context because they have brains and they didn't do anything, so I guess I got very lucky. Had to make a public statement about it. It's not something that was very fun, but that's whatever, and I'm not going to delete my old content or hide from it or pretend that it doesn't exist. There's a link down there in the description to that video as well. It's a rough one, so bear in mind. And whoa, that was a lot of stuff today before getting to the actual meat of this video. While I was away, several bad pieces of news about Modern Warfare came out. Each one was individually devastating, but altogether it was extraordinarily bad, and it even resulted in a decline in pre-orders. So first up today, let's talk about netcode. All of the netcode information is taken from Battlenonsense's video, who does a fantastic job testing things. He's a network engineer. He did a whole series of in-depth tests on network quality on a variety of games, and his video is linked below. But I'm going to try to summarize his results and offer my opinion on it. As it turns out, the community complaints about lag were very, very well founded. Your ping numbers on PC are completely false. Whatever it says there, your ping is just almost certainly not accurate. I would see zeros and negatives and ones and stuff too. I don't understand how Infinity Ward could screw up ping so bad, because the game literally has to know that. It's like baked into the engine. You just pull that number out. I have no clue why they couldn't display ping properly on PC and why they chose not to do it at all on console. But the in-game ping measurements just literally don't work. The numbers are almost random. The game still reveals your IP address for peer-to-peer voice over internet protocol, or VoIP, like Skype, the in-game chat. So that means that you're still going to get DDoSed if you're playing a ranked match or somebody doesn't like you. Anybody that joins your game can still grab your IP. You can't hide it. You can't turn off your VoIP and hide it. It's just there in every match, and that's just really stupid design. Most importantly, there is a massive in-game delay when it comes to damage taken and received, even compared to Black Ops 4, which was exceptionally bad, and even worse than Blackout if you're playing Ground War. As Battlenonsense says, it's one of the worst total delays in COD history, and one of the worst that he's measured in any game ever. This happens on dedicated servers too. Oddly, the entire beta was played only on dedicated servers, nobody connected to a listen server or to peer-to-peer server as far as we can tell. I had that little code line in a different video. But this sort of delay was present in most games, and it was very greatly exacerbated by a laggy connection. In layman's terms, lag comp is super strong. You remember lag comp from like years and years ago when that was the thing before skill-based matchmaking? Yeah, it's back, and it's pretty bad. The game engine and servers and everything have been set up to where it greatly favors the person shooting to ensure a good user experience. So when you shoot people, they die. They don't just eat bullets most of the time. However, in favoring the shooter, what that means is that if you're on the receiving end, that means you're going to get a lot of instant deaths, or at least very fast deaths that you can't react or do anything about. So when people were just saying they're getting melted, they're getting deleted, I feel like I'm, dying faster than I kill, that was probably true. And for me, this is a big yikes. Stuff like this can really impact the game experience and kill games early. It's something that will only get more frustrating over time, and if Infinity Ward doesn't do something to fix this, then it's going to make the entire game less fun to play. Barely hanging in there with my voice today, but we're going to talk about the one-year exclusivity. It was announced via Activision press release that PlayStation 4 was going to get an exclusive Spec Ops survival mode. For some reason, I think they thought that this was going to be well received and that PlayStation players would be happy, but what that did was it basically told Xbox and PC players that they would not get to play that mode, which is part of the full game, for an entire year. If you buy Modern Warfare on Xbox or PC, you will not get to play Spec Ops Survival for 1 year, and essentially you will have an incomplete game, which is a super bad business practice. I have no idea what genius thought of this, why they thought it was a good idea, but like that stupid meme, they need to be thrown out the window completely. But I know the meme works where you throw the people out with the good idea. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that survival mode is going to be very similar to Modern Warfare 3's Chaos mode, which in my opinion was one of the worst and most boring Call of Duty modes ever made. Definitely the weakest of all the COD Horde modes. I almost never played it. But then when I mentioned this opinion that people shouldn't be mad about missing a stupid mode, a lot of people just came out of the woodwork. A lot of fans said it was their favorite mode. They played it with their wife. They played it offline. Developers stepped in and said that survival mode is not all of Spec Ops. That Spec Ops is a lot of stuff not survival mode, and that survival mode is a very tiny sliver of Spec Ops, like 1% of the game. Personally, I thought this was a very small price to play, considering that we don't have a DLC pass, we do have crossplay, we have cross progression, we have a lot of very nice inter-community features, less exclusivity, and it wasn't even a good mode. However, and I voiced this opinion on Twitter, however, when I take a step back and look at it, I realize that it sets a terrible business precedent. It tells Activision that it's totally okay to sell a game that's not complete and with features that are coming later, and to sort of segregate your customers based on their platform in order to make more money. I don't know what company thinks it's a good business idea to sell an incomplete game to customers other than Activision, and I don't know why customers would buy a game that's incomplete even if it's only 1% incomplete. To me, this is just like taking a big piss on your fans, and I think it's an incredibly dumb move, and it inevitably led to a lot of pre-order cancellations. And the rumor is, this is unconfirmed, that the pre-order cancellations on Xbox and PC were so high that it's forcing Activision to reconsider this exclusivity and reconsider their loot boxes and post-game monetization practices, which brings me to my very last topic that I hope I can get through before my voice dies. I'm sweating here. Stupid. I got some kind of cold in the Caribbean. Yeah, loot boxes are coming back. Yay! Said nobody ever. Man, oh god. According to the leaks, which is mostly the gaming revolution, they had a good system similar to World War II and Modern Warfare Remastered with COD points and scrap and like challenges and tiers and collections and stuff. But that pretty much got completely scrapped last minute in favor of just loot boxes that had terrible odds like Black Ops 4, and that new guns will be there in one every like 1,000 loot boxes, so it costs like $1,000 or $2 to get a gun. And you'll see that same old kind of stuff from Black Ops 4 return to Modern Warfare. I guess this is... I mean, I guess I kind of knew this. It shouldn't really be news or shocking, but it's still depressing. It's like, you know, disappointed but not surprised. And my greatest fear for this game is that it's going to be great for like 2 months and then it's just going to rapidly turn into Black Ops 4 or worse. Infinity Ward has said that for now guns are cosmetic, the kits are variants, are just like cosmetic, yada yada. The leaks are saying that they're later just going to load it up full of guns that you can only get with loot boxes, which is just terrible. In order for the game to be successful, guns have to stay cosmetic only, or there has to be a very reasonable free unlock path. When you stack all of the exclusivity stuff on top of the loot boxes, for me, this may be my final straw for Call of Duty. This might be the one that breaks the Drifter's back. Now it's already broken. I'm currently planning to leave the franchise, not just the game, but the franchise, if the microtransaction system isn't handled properly. I kind of made that promise like 3 or 4 months ago, and I try to avoid breaking my promises when I can, and it's about time that I leave, because it's been very, very ridiculous every single year. However, it's also very generally depressing to play a microtransaction-heavy game. Even if I loved the game, and even if I hadn't, you know, very publicly promised to leave, then it would just be not fun for me to play, and it would make me sad, like Black Ops 4 did. This worries me at a very fundamental level, because leaving Call of Duty is a path of self-destruction for my income, for my brand, for my channel, for a lot of the things that make me me, a piece of my core identity, you know, and especially given how the current YouTube algorithm works, which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it earlier in the video, because the YouTube algorithm rewards repetitive niche content, more so now than ever. It rewards clickbait, and it rewards doing the same things kind of over and over again. So if I quit Call of Duty, it's very likely that I will have to retire from YouTube in general, or accept not just like a month or two, but several years of rebuilding my entire brand from like scratch, bottom up. That's going to be hard. That's going to be all my money gone. That's going to be my identity gone. That's going to be devastating. So I hope it's something that doesn't happen, but it's something that'll have to happen, because I'm not going to play a terrible game forever. It also might be hard because I'm very close to getting a sponsor for the first 3 months of In-Depth. We're working on some final stuff, and I'm hoping the sponsorship comes through. It'll be a good one. And if, like, you know, I'm working, I've signed my contract for like 3 or 4 months or something, and then the system changes and I don't want to do in depth anymore, what do I tell my sponsors? What do sponsors, singular, for the bigger contract? Tell them, like, yeah, I'm just not going to do loot boxes, and that probably won't fly. I'll probably have to finish the contract and then quit, which will probably make me look like a shill. There's not much more I can say about this that other YouTubers haven't, but it legitimately worries me. We have finally a great game. Modern Warfare is super fun. I've enjoyed it. I think it's going to do well, but it seems like Activision is trying their absolute best to screw it up before launch. Just every day, I just feel like they're just like, you know what? We're going to run an experiment and see how long it takes to sink a franchise so that they can use it as like a case study for something else. It's so ridiculous, and I hope that doesn't happen. I'm kind of running out of voice here. I hope that you learned something useful. I hope that you had fun watching this video. I hope that you check out any of the numerous links down there below in the description. I may or may not have a video tomorrow, depending on how the voice here works, but I should be back on top of things soon. Drifter out.